Times are getting tougher for South African banks. African banks' shares have plunged once more after it released yet another profit warning. It once again said consumers will struggle to pay and bad debts will rise. The bank's share price plunged by 50% last year. Analysts say all South Africa's major banks will face significant pressure this coming year.
The profit warning issued by African Bank yesterday due to rising bad loans paints a picture of just how tough the operating environment is for most banks. Highly indebted consumers are struggling to meet their payments in the face of rising costs. Analysts say the country's top banks also won't escape rising credit impairments, although the impact will be smaller. They say the emerging market crisis and rising interest rates locally have somewhat depressed the outlook for the sector this year. And this could result in banks reassessing their approach in advancing credit.
We've seen over the last year, 18 months, especially in the unsecured lending area in the lower segment, that there has been some strain, and that will definitely continue. And as with interest rates that's increased, that will definitely just exacerbate the impact of that. So we do expect over the coming months that there will be a slight uptick, as we have seen over the last year, in impairments.
But perhaps the biggest challenge facing the sector is not necessarily the financial health of the consumer. Banks are more worried about government's plans for a once-off removal of blacklisted consumers from credit bureau records. And they seem to be losing this battle, with the Department of Trade and Industry looking to finalize this legislation in Parliament this week.
As a lender, the more information we have, the better we are able to actually assess an individual's personal circumstances. And the relatively less riskier it is for us to actually do the lending. If we don't have all the information at hand and we are unable to actually look at the history of an individual as far as management of finances go, the risk becomes higher. We price for that risk, the cost of lending goes up, or we decide not to lend.
The Banking Association says it expects banks to continue to look beyond South Africa's borders for revenue streams as local conditions remain robust. Liuta Motlogelwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.